everyone. So we have another guest here with us. Please welcome Mr. Debabrata Das, Vice President and Country General Manager. Please give a huge round of applause for him. So thank you so much for joining us. It's the Silver Jubilee celebration for us, 25 years of Infocom. So it's a pleasure to have you here. What would you like to say about Infocom to begin with?
I've been associated with Infocom for quite some time now across various companies. And it's a wonderful event, and I think because of the background of Infocom coming from a media and publication company and not a marketing oriented company, I think the quality of interactions between professionals in the tech field is really substantially better and good quality. So I definitely know in fact in a lot of my professional career pushes, I would obviously love to be a part of Infocom always, and they do a wonderful job in terms of how they bring. The second part, what I love Infocom is always they have a very big agenda on India, and I think that's a very important part which we sometimes miss out on doing some professional seminars where we don't get the India angle into the picture, and I think that's a very positive way of taking Infocom forward. And congratulations on the 25 years.
Thank you so much. It's always great having guests like you over, and so that we can ask so many questions. And people here are always very enthusiastic when it comes to having conversations around technology. So, sir, to begin with, in today's day and age, people expect everything instantly, right? Especially we have access to so many apps these days that we are so used to of things getting to us faster than ever before. Be it payment, deliveries, food, the consumer behavior is changing now. So how do you feel that the businesses should handle it? What is the expectation of the consumer? How should businesses go about it?
So if you notice, the way the businesses were being managed earlier to, I would say, mid-term, there was a change in the late 90s and then, 2000s, early 2000s. And now with the new advent of, cloud was also a big disruptor, and then coming to the AI world. So I think the consumer behavior is that, I want immediately everything, kind of. And why so? Because they are connected on real-time basis. So you want decisions, while you're going to the airport, you want to change your flight, it has to be instantaneous, So the advent of consumerism is absolutely the highest possible level, and what technology does is enables it. Correct. It is possible to do it today's world because of the technologies which are available today. So you will see this, it is going and it will move up. The expectations will go up, the times will come down, the data will be much more active and in motion in real time. So we will be seeing a lot of disruption. At the same time, we'll have a lot of positive activities in the businesses today.
Do you also think that it's more eminent in our country, especially in India, where everything happens instantly, right? Be it delivery, payments, food. So it's very tricky situation to be here, right? Because not everywhere you can get food delivered in 5 minutes, 8 minutes, groceries in 8 minutes. So from an India POV, what do you think should be the approach of companies out there?
So I think first of all, not only what you just said, but the important part is not getting the deliveries just on time or immediate, but also at the cost at which we do it in India.
Correct.
That is absolutely stunning, the way we deliver things and get things done at the cost at which you're doing.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing, sir?
I think it's a very extremely good thing, because what happens, there's a multiple iteration of transactions. So long back, I'll just tell you what people said about Mumbai, the money travels 7 times in a day, the iteration of the money, right? So which means the more iterations you have, the extent of which the business can grow is massively high. So government makes money, the consumers get better service. So everything happens in a much more faster and spiraling fashion. So it is really very beneficial for various industries to kind of get this thing done.
Lovely. I think that was a very interesting POV, especially since you said that it's a good thing. So tell us, with AI and automation, entering all the workplaces, and it's happening at a very rapid pace. What are the skills that young people in this country really need to have in order to get along or survive the wave of AI and technology?
So firstly, and again, it is my personal opinion that, with AI coming in, there's a lot of frightening statements in the market that jobs will go and, things will be bad, etc., and all that. But I think, in my opinion, what is more important is that AI might actually end up augmenting human intelligence. So whatever we are doing today will be much more effective and efficient using AI. I don't majorly think that obviously there will be a change of the nature of the job that we are doing. And so people have to focus on those things that instead of doing the mundane things, which a machine can do easily, we have to focus on things which can actually improve things. So for the newer generations in terms of educating us and to getting newer skills, it is important to understand what will be the business for the future and get yourself trained on those areas. Rather than training yourself on past skills, it is important to get yourself trained on future skills. So it is not enough for our children to just do computer science, but computer science in what specialization you're doing and how it is affecting the workplace. I think those are the various things that we need to learn. Else, we'll be actually serving the past. We will not be able to serve the future.
Okay, that's a very good point, sir. If you could elaborate more on the skills, per to say that in terms of technology or AI, what do you think are those skills that individuals need to work on? Because people say that AI is going to take away the jobs. So how to make sure that it doesn't?
AI has still not taken away the jobs. They have changed the nature of the jobs. And so what I think people want to hint at, the existing set of jobs will change to something different. And I think that is the more positive and the rightful way of approaching things. That how we actually make the businesses better by using AI and augmenting human intelligence. We all, in my opinion, again, no one knows about the future, but the humans definitely will be required to do the jobs. There's no doubt. The nature of the jobs might be a little more different. You have to move up the value chain in terms of the human intelligence. And the lower end of the jobs will actually be done by more of machines. The speed at which the jobs are getting done, the efficiency of the jobs, the efficacy of the job, the handling of the data will be much faster with the use of AI. But it will possibly never replace humans at all.
So humans are irreplaceable, as you said, and also it's important to keep us updated with the technology and the skills. So India is becoming one of the world's largest or fastest growing economy, and also when it comes to digital space, India is growing rapidly, right? So how do you think India's future when it comes to tech over the next decade? How does it look like to you?
So, I've been in the the tech segment for about 31 years and had a good exposure of the developed markets in the US and Europe. And I can definitely say that Indians are very resilient in terms of learning new skills and adapting to newer future ideas. So when I see at cities like Hyderabad, Bangalore, Bombay, I think the way that India is moving in terms of embracing newer technologies, and sometimes, we were somewhere behind and we are stepping to somewhere in the future. So this the breach is being actually addressed at a very fast pace for India, and with little bit of I would say the country issues in terms of security, safety, road safety, governance, corruption. If you can manage it, I think India will be a very, very strong economy going forward. And just to share with everyone, at least on the tech field, that about maybe a decades earlier, people used to look at India as maybe a little bit lower cost resources kind of. But from that, I think India has been definitely looked up as a innovation center for the world. At least I can say for what we call as GCCs in India, or global capability centers. I think close to over 2,000 global capability centers of US and Europe based companies are there in India. They look at India not just as a low cost service provider, but a huge innovation center. So innovation as a service from India is becoming much more popular than actually possibility of serviceability at a lower cost. So this huge transition in the minds of the global leaders, I think, has set a right perspective for India to move forward.
No, that's a fair point. India has a lot of resilient people in there and trying to make a good. So, if I had to ask you, what is the one thing that we are not doing right? I think it's an important point to make because we also need to know where we're going wrong and what needs to change, right? So, what is that one thing that needs to change in India, which can be an obstruction or it can be a hindrance to India's near future? What should change?
So I think a lot of like professionals like me and others in the room, right? I think as a nature we don't spend much time with the academia. I think it's very important to tell our future generations while they're getting educated from college that what are the things they need to focus on. It is not that they have lesser intelligence or something of that sort compared to a kind of a person in Europe or US. It is basically the guidance, the directions needs to come from industry experts. Now you will see that is one thing majorly lacking in India, and I think the government is trying to address it. Lot of universities I see in South India are very active in this, where they are doing industry and academia partnership to impart the students with newer ideas. I think that's very, very important. You can't just teach microprocessors to a student without telling him where it is required, how it is being done. I think that's a very, very important part. Just to share with you, I was looking at a museum last week in the US, and to explain to children how an aircraft engine works, they actually took an aircraft engine inside a museum and showed the things moving. So when that person sees it, and then you actually learn mathematics on how to manage it, it becomes easier for the student to manage it. But important part is that if we want our country to grow stronger, then we each have to participate into our ecosystem. That is one, the academia. Second part, most of us with such lovely experiences, we should spend some time with some startups, just not for money, just to guide them. Believe me, India has got tremendously strong startups who are domain-wise very strong in their field, but they lack an ability to go and do a proper GTM across the world. I think that is a big problem that India has got. And with people like us over here and the other professionals, if they can cooperate and support these initiatives, I think in the same building, there's a new startup initiative that is happening for Mumbai. And I think those are the areas where we should, people like us should go and contribute to say, this is what my readings are, that how you can actually take this product to the global marketplace. Amazing products. I'm associated with some of the MBA colleges in Bombay, and amazing innovation centers they're having, but probably they are technically very qualified about what they're doing, but they do not know how to take that particular product and take it to the market, take it to the investors, give them a financial overview of how things would be. And I think that is where a little bit of lacking is there. I think if we can address that as a nation, I think it'll be really good.
I think the change will come, and I think we have a lot of people who really want to take this forward, and especially people like us here at the Infocom. And thank you so much, sir, once again for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure having you, and you've made some brilliant points. So thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen. Please give a huge round of applause for Mr. Das.
Thank you very much.